Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hello, how's everybody doing? My apologies for the lateness. How you doing, Frederick? Thank you for kicking it off, sweetheart. Excuse me, everybody. I'm doing a little housekeeping. Okay. Assalamualaikum, everybody. Waalaikumsalam. No, my volume's fine. Volume is fine. I'm just not yelling yet. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get into this whole Michael Irvin situation. Now, I did a show, I want to say it was last week, that I did a show or a video concerning this situation with Michael Irvin. Now, supposedly, he was saying some inappropriate things to an employee of the Marriott during the week of the Super Bowl that he was supposed to be covering the Super Bowl. She complained to her manager or whomever. Word got back to the NFL, and without any investigation, without any questioning, they dropped Michael Irvin from broadcasting and covering the upcoming Super Bowl events. Not only in NFL, ESPN as well. So he missed out on quite a bit of money because he was not able to commentate and do the coverage for the Super Bowl. Thank you, Ty Boxing. It's time to cook these building rats. Peace and blessings. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Now, when the story first broke, not even Michael Irvin actually knew what he was being accused of doing. There, at the beginning of all of this, there was no actual thing. Nothing was known. There was no real accusation even, or saying he touched me or he said anything. The details of the accusation did not come about until way later on. This is after the Marriott declined to send the video surveillance footage in and release that footage. The Marriott did not want to release that footage. As soon as this was done, Michael Irvin filed a lawsuit for $100 million. Okay. And finally, over the last couple of days, that video surveillance footage was released by Michael Irvin and his lawyers. Okay? So that's what we're going to do today. We are going to take a look at the video. But before we take a look at the video, I just want to be able to remind everybody about what she said happened to her. Okay? Now, I'm just going to read a little snippet. That Marriott disclosed the details of the accusation against Irvin in a court filing, which stated, Irvin reached out and touched the victim's arm during this conversation without her consent, causing her to step back, becoming visibly uncomfortable. Irvin then asked the victim whether she knew anything about having a big black man inside of her. That is such a Pornhub lie. That is a Pornhub lie. That is a lie straight out of Pornhub, y'all. And nobody even talk like that. Who talks like that? Nobody. Nobody. Taken aback by Irvin's comments, the victim responded that his comments were inappropriate and she did not wish to discuss it further. Irvin then attempted to grab the victim's hand again and said he was sorry if he brought up bad memories for her. Memories of what? What is it? Bad memories. What is that? Bad memories of what? See, it's just the lies for me. It's the obvious lies for me, y'all. The victim pulled her hand away and tried to back away from Irvin as he continued to move towards her. Now, I just wanted to read that little snippet. So that you all could be made aware as to what we actually talking about here, okay? Do you know anything about having a big black man inside? You know, just filing BBC fantasies to the court. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to go right into the video itself. Now, this video is about 2 minutes and 20 seconds. This is him and his lawyers. They're gonna be explaining the video. as you watch it so you can know who's who and who's doing what in the video, okay? So here we go.
Pause it 1 second. We've been going for a while. They're having a lot of conversation. As Marriott released in their statement, they said basically, he said one word to her, an offensive, vulgar thing that he did not say. It's clear from the video and from these witnesses. But they have a very lengthy conversation and no one's trying to tell us what that is. Go ahead.
What we looking at right here, this is Michael Irvin and the woman. Just in case y'all didn't know what to look at in this video. This is them. Do anybody need me to back this up?
She's shaking her head back and forth like that. He walked in closer to her, she didn't back up at all. Now they're shaking hands. Now, I want you to watch the end interaction here. Because she's gonna kind of, when people come up, she'll kick her leg. As she walks off, she's still talking to Michael over the shoulder, all friendly. There you go. Kicks her leg. And see right here, she can look back over her shoulder and say to Michael, now pause it, pause it. Okay. They claim he was leering at her. When he looks back at the bar, she's way gone. Because you're about to watch, she's gonna go over here, and that guy is gonna go he's gonna get very visibly upset with her. And basically, if there's somebody who's, I don't want to use the word abusive, but there's somebody who's really being forward to her, it's this gentleman here. It wasn't Michael. So watch what happens. Okay, go ahead and roll the tape. You see him grab her, and she falls, not pausing. Now Michael's looking over there for the first time. He's not watching.
This is still Michael.
He's talking to these guys.
This is somebody else. She way over there.
They start talking to him. The guy in the white hat. Okay, go ahead. See?
This her walking off.
Now Michael walks out to go take a selfie with this, we believe, Renaissance employee, 99% sure. And the security guy stays right there with him, who's been around for the whole conversation, really.
Now, do that look like he doing anything, huh? I'm gonna do one better because Uncle D, and I'm sure he not gonna mind. I'm sure he won't mind. He actually had a better clip. I'm gonna find it.
Top right.
His is actually better. So we're going to look again where it's a little bit clearer and a little bit more information. Thank you, Sivan. I'm not Muslim, but inshallah, I pray you will continue to receive the covering, wisdom, and insight of the Creator. Thank you so very much. And I appreciate everybody's contribution because we're going to cook this. So look, we gonna look again.
Michael is outside with the gentlemen that were here last time via Zoom. I've called them the TMZ witnesses because they were the first to interview them, but it's three gentlemen. If you notice his body movements and what's going on, he's obviously going to be very friendly. There's some other people actually that I don't know their identity. Take a picture. That guy right there on the left, stop it. And go back 10 seconds. Can you do that? When I talked about the people that were in the back talking, I believe the complaining witness, I believe this gentleman here who's some kind of a manager, and then you'll see the witness who's been back come out this side, okay? She's gonna walk way around here to this pole instead of back to where her job would be back that way. Okay, go ahead and roll it. There he goes. She'll come this way pretty soon across the bottom. Also, when she walks up, you'll see she kind of looks around the pole to see if Michael is still coming. You see her just barely duck her head. Here she comes.
Here's Miss Thing.
Right there. You see how she stuck her head to the right? Now pause it. Now, she's way ahead of Michael. If she was to continue at her same speed for her job, she should be way over at the bar in a second, but she clearly slows down.
Precisely. I don't know if y'all understanding this. But this is Miss Lady right here. This is Michael right here. He's just coming in from outside. She's supposed to be doing her job. So if she had just went on into the little bar area and then stopped to talk, we don't have a conversation? But no, Miss Thing wanna talk to him. So now watch.
So that they're going to intersect at that kind of juncture where you have to walk in the bar. So go ahead. This is the shake I talked to you about in the beginning, the opening shake. Pause it. This guy over here with his hands on his hips is the angry manager, okay? If you go back a few seconds, I want him to see what he does with the hand clap when he sees her with Michael. Behind the bar, you'll see him walk out. So focus on him this time instead of on her. We went back a little far.
It is not as granular as it should be.
Okay. But we got it coming down because here she comes. He sees her back there where he's vectored, and he comes up, the manager, and you'll see him when he sees her. Watch his expression when he does. See the claps? I don't know what that is. Then he comes up here, and you can see he's visibly frustrated at what's going on somehow with her. Now let's take your focus back to Michael and her, because you can see they have friendly interaction. The body language is good, and they're just talking. In fact, if you see, he keeps more space from him than he does when he's talking to any male at any point in the bar. Some of y'all probably wish he'd keep more space when he talked to you.
Now, mind you, another thing to point out. This conversation is happening in a very frequented part of the hotel. This is right in the lobby. This is right the front entrance of this hotel. This guy here standing there probably because he wants some type of selfie or autograph or to speak to Michael Irvin or something like that. So he's kind of meandering around. He don't want to really get into the conversation with them, but he don't want to leave completely because he's essentially waiting his turn. Okay, she's supposed to be in there doing her job. Her manager already mad at her. Okay, he already upset with her because she doing what she want to do. She thinks she cute with her little vest on or whatever. That's what she think going on. Okay? Now, if you watch the interaction here, it's just regular talking. He ain't really doing nothing to her. I fail to see where the crime is committed. If he was talking crazy to her and real sexually explicit, these people and the other people that show up later on in the video are within earshot of that. He never leans in to whisper nothing in her ear. So for her to hear him, he's got to be talking at a normal level or a little bit higher because this bar area got a lot of people in it. Hotels are playing music and people are in and out. Let's be real. Let's act like we understand what's going on. Stuff not happening in a vacuum.
Guy's pacing, hitting his hands. He's upset over there on the left with whatever's happening. The guy in the gray up top, that's the security guard that's wandering around. He'll circle around many times around Michael and her. Pause it 1 second. But we've been going for a while. They're having a lot of conversation. As Marriott...
A lot of conversation. And if he was talking crazy in the conversation, you know you got a job to do, right? You know you could just excuse yourself from this conversation, correct? You are aware that you could be like, you know what? Have a good evening, Mr. Irvin. And you can abruptly leave. If that's what it is.
Released in their statement, they said basically, he said one word, not saying it. And from these witness stations, and no one. That's where she tells some kind of joke, I believe.
Now,
Kind of bend over.
if you know anything about the mannerisms of black people, he laughing. Because we will walk off, we will grab you, we will turn around, we will do a spin, we'll do several things while we giggling. Okay? And then he did say he was tipsy as well. She don't look uncomfortable with me. She still don't look uncomfortable. She's still standing there talking, running her gums.
She's shaking her head back and forth like that. He walked in closer to her. She didn't back up at all. Now they're shaking hands. Now I want you to watch the end interaction here, because she's going to kind of, when the people come up, she'll kick her leg. As she walks off, she's still talking to Michael over the shoulder, all friendly. There you go.
Now, mind you, still talking. These are two more people that would be within earshot of what is being said here. Mind you, he's not close enough to her to whisper. He's not close enough to her to speak in low tones where other people would not be able to hear what he's saying.
Kicks her leg. And see right here, she's going to look back over her shoulder and say to Michael, now pause it. Pause it. Okay. They claim he was leering at her. When he looks back at the bar, she's way gone. Because you're about to watch, she's going to go over here, and that guy is going to go he's going to get very visibly upset with her. And basically, there's somebody who's, I don't want to use the word abusive, but there's somebody who's really being forward to her. It's this gentleman here. It wasn't Michael. So watch what happens. Okay, go ahead and roll the tape. You see him grab her, and she follows, now pause it. Now Michael's looking over there for the first time. He's not watching her. He's talking to these guys. You'll see in a second they turn around and they start talking to him, the guy in the white hat. Okay, go ahead. See? Now Michael walks out to go take a selfie with this, we believe, Renaissance employee, 99% sure. And the security guy stays right there with him, who's been around for the whole conversation, really.
Now, we're going to come back. Bella had Bella sitting it right on, she hit it right on a nail on the head. That's the I'm cute kick. That little kick she did. That's that I'm laughing at all his jokes. Girl. Thank you, Willie. Says she the type that will go to the gym and swear up and down the men are leering at her and they ain't even stunting her. Exactly. She definitely a gym hyena. We're not going to criminalize everything that a black man do. Even his movements, even his mannerisms, even his, you know what I'm saying? We are not going to criminalize that. Thank you, Teray. Thank you so much, sweetheart. We're not going to criminalize that behavior. Because Michael has done nothing to this woman. This is why the Marriott did not want to release that surveillance footage, because they looked at it, then they listened to her story again, then they looked at that video again, then they listened to that story, then they said, oh no, we can't release that. We got to fight that. Now they knew they wasn't gonna be able to fight it forever. But they had to hold it long enough to try to spin a narrative. But when you telling the truth, you telling the truth. We had a little talk. We stood there. We talked for a couple minutes. You know, it was friendly. Shook hands a couple times. And then I went on about my business. Supposedly, she went on about hers. Your manager was already mad at you. That's what it was. That's what it was. Y'all, that's why she lied on him. That's why she lied on him. Her manager, supervisor, whoever he is to her, was already upset with her. Okay? Already upset with this woman. You can see it on the video. And the way in which she gets out of stuff that time with the manager was that now she got to be shaken, and, you know, because she just got from a conversation that was inappropriate that Michael Irvin was having with her. And as an employer, you got to listen to that type of complaint. If your employee say that another employee or a patron of the hotel or whomever, while they on the clock, was doing something to them or they was harassing them in some way, you as management of the Marriott, you have to take down that complaint. You cannot ignore that complaint. You, no matter how outlandish it seems, or no matter if you think they cap, you have to do it according to most jobs policies. You have to make note of these things. This is like being caught by your parents for having sex, and then you cry grape to clear you of any accountability for it. Don't tell me nothing. Thank you, Dallas actor said it was when the manager chastised her for not working, she had to come up with some kind of outrageous lie to keep her job or get out of the hot seat. Exactly. Thank you so much, Dallas. It's Real Bravado Network. Thank you, sweetheart. Said, have we really gotten to the point that no man should ever speak to or look in the direction of a woman in America? Has it come to this? I mean, it seems open season on men, especially men of means. I smell trying to hit a lick. Yeah, she trying to hit a lick. Thank you so much, Real Bravado. Thank you to Renzo. I told you all, study neurolinguistics programming. You'll be able to see through people's psychological BS. Drops mic. Exactly. Thank you again, Real Bravado. So sorry for the type of error at the beginning. No problem, sweetheart. And so you just sat there and lied on that man. You obviously lied on him. Because there was absolutely nothing in that clip, sound or no sound, that insinuates or that we can see was questionable behavior or something untoward. We are human beings. We are American. We know what our body language do. We understand what it is. We know that a touch or a handshake is not automatically offensive or anything like that. We know it's not. We know what laughing look like. We know what a good jovial conversation appears to be with body language and everything. We don't need sound, because we don't need sound to see. We did not need sound to understand that her manager was angry. We didn't need sound for that. His whole body language, the way he was looking at her, the way he was posturing, the way she was behaving, all that told us that there was some upsetness. Now, we don't know what it was about, but there was some upset between him and her. He was mad at her for whatever reason. She's having a relaxing conversation with Michael. Leg kicks, hand behind. Both of them were actually doing what they should have done, which is not, I mean, one or two little incidental touches was fine, but they wasn't all over each other. Because they don't know each other. Michael Irvin is trying to be Michael Irvin. He understands risk, but he's also thinking, if I don't put myself in a situation, then I won't be in a situation. If it ain't no rooting and tooting, won't be no cussing and shooting. So if I'm not alone with this woman, or I didn't take her around the corner where the surveillance couldn't see, or I'm not, I'm in a public space, anybody can come over here, anybody can hear this conversation, everybody can see what's happening. In his mind, he did protect himself. He did as much as he could without being completely rude and saying, no, nobody talk to me, I don't talk to nobody, Thank you, Ruminant said, try that with a couple of zaddies and you have Sharia law in 5, 4, 3, 2. Exactly. Thank you, Jay Noel said, even if he was flirting with her, which I don't think he was, when did that become illegal? Precisely. Thank you, 39 Dina. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Thank you, Charles Key said, all single black men should have cameras in their house that record to the cloud. Thank you, Kushinsi said, broke chicks do grimy things like this. Karma is a B. And thank you, Mogul Maze. Thank you so much, sweetheart. So in Michael's mind, he has already protected himself as much as he can on a random interaction. This is an interaction that he didn't plan. This wasn't some scheduled interview. It was just an interaction at the close of the night, towards the end of the night. He done came in from hanging out or whatever. He's about to go in his room, kind of in the lobby. He gets held up, blah, 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 yada, 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 yeah. Yip and gap for a minute. Go take a selfie. Go up to the room. He didn't go nowhere with this woman. He didn't sit down and have a drink with her. He never left out of where a camera could see him. He never left to a place where other people could not see him. Thank you, Actual Movement. So careful with commentary on this one, sis. If by chance this thing flips back onto Mr. Irvin, cancel culture will come for everything, everyone it can conflate along with. Thank you so much. I'm not worried about it. If they want to flip a narrative, they're going to flip it anyway. But we can see with our two eyes what didn't happen. He wasn't handsy with her. They're after him for a very particular reason. And when we get back, we're going to go into that reason. So, after these messages, we'll be right back.
Average game truck parties are a virus, but gamer versus gamer is the cure. Gamer versus gamer. Gamer versus gamer. Gamer versus gamer. Gamer versus gamer.
Happy birthday.
Gamer versus gamer. Gamer versus gamer.
Gamer versus gamer. We look forward to treating your child like the most important kid in the world on their birthday.
Hi, Gamer versus Gamer. Thank you so much for my birthday party.
I definitely enjoy being sponsored by the wonderful people at Gamer vs. Gamer. As you can see, the children have a wonderful time because that's actual footage of children who have had their birthdays catered and supplied by Gamer vs. Gamer. So what you really want is, if you are in the Atlanta metropolitan area, or you have friends and family with children in the Atlanta metropolitan area and they have birthdays coming up within the next few months, you really do need to give your child a very unique experience that they've never had before. And the way in which you do that is you click the link at the top of the chat, Gamer vs. Gamer. You go to their website and you give them a call, because this is really an elite service. It's more than just about playing games in a 30-foot trailer. This is about writing a love letter to your child and providing a very, very warm memory for your child to hold throughout the rest of their lives. So once again, if you or friends or family or anyone that you know is in the Atlanta metropolitan area, got children, there are, birthdays coming up, definitely click that link. Give yourself and your children a treat. They show up with a 30-foot trailer and you don't have to do anything but be there and be present in your child's life and in your child's birthday and celebrate with them, because the Gamer vs. Gamer takes care of everything, including the catering and the food and the cleanup. So you just get to be the hero, right? Every parent wants to be the hero, but they don't necessarily always want all of the tedious work of the hero. And that's what Gamer vs. Gamer does for you. All right. So definitely go ahead and click that link. Okay. So there's a very particular reason why Michael Irvin is being targeted. And it's not anything that he has done in particular that we know of. There's been no public controversy. There's been no anything like that. Thank you, Dallas actor said, men of means need wives beside them. It's chest, not simping. She protects in so many ways. R.I.P. Kate. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that, Dallas. I'm going to actually speak to that point. Thank you, Black Goku. So that's another L for the so-called believe all women nonsense. And they wonder why men are checking out of dealing with American women. All this is doing is make the passport bros grow stronger. Exactly. But I'm going to speak to that point, Dallas actor. I'm going to speak to the point. Having your wife with you, if she's a lioness, if she's a wife, then your wife covers you as a man. Especially if you're the type of man that move around. You're the kind of man, you don't have to be famous like Michael Irvin and recognizable in that sense or to that level. But if you go around, you travel for business, you do a lot of things, you interact with a lot of different people, you have your wife with you. 1 second. We have a very good example right here in our YouTube community. And shout out to Anton and his wife, Rita. Rita's everywhere with Anton. When Anton paid for my travel expenses to come there and do an interview and do a panel, he was waiting for me at the lobby of the hotel to welcome me. Who was right there? Who was right there? Rita was standing right there. Whenever I needed to be picked up from the hotel and brought to the studio to actually do the panel and actually do the interview, Mrs. Daniels showed up to pick me up, not Anton. Anton and I never spent a single moment, I mean not one, not 5 seconds, not 2, anywhere, at any time, for any reason, by ourselves. Every greeting, every, hey, how you doing, Anton? Da-da-da. Rita was right there. Because he not stupid enough to not have his covering with him. Do you understand me? He not stupid enough to not have his covering with him. Because see, wives are the coverings to their husbands too. As long as he keep that practice up, you know what? Who can't say what he did to them? Any female, whether he thinks she's capable of saying them lies about him or not, is unable to come to him or come at him or say, well, Anton said such and such to me and he did such and such to me, because you a lie. Because he was never even by himself with you at all. Every time he interacted with you, his wife was there. I know for a fact because I experienced it. And that's the way it should be. I had no problem. Even our interaction prior to getting there, I corresponded with Rita, not Anton. When the arrangements was being made for the flights, I corresponded and communicated with Rita, not Anton. Him and I didn't get jip-a-jap on the phone. We wasn't texting back and forth. Do you understand me? And I appreciated that. I loved that. That's how you're supposed to do it. As a Muslim, I'm accustomed to that. I deal with the women. I don't deal with the men unless I have to deal with the men. Now, let's get back to this Michael Irvin situation. Michael Irvin is not under attack because of some specific thing, at least that the public is aware of. You know what Michael Irvin's crime is? Michael Irvin's crime, put a 1 in the chat if you want to know his biggest crime right now. He's a masculine black male. He's a masculine black male. He's a masculine black male. He's successful. He's wealthy. He's doing his thing. It is an attack on black masculinity in a climate where we got all kinds of magazine covers depicting black men in these suspect ways. At a time where you got black men talking about how masculinity is fluid. At a time where black masculinity is always under attack. When we're at a time where we're rewarding Dwayne Wade and his husband Gabrielle on the complete destruction and effeminization of their child. In a climate of this type of stuff, heterosexual, masculine black men are under attack. And black men, particularly the masculine black men, are always under attack under the system of so-called white supremacy, biologically, culturally, and environmentally. They are always under this type of attack. The physical attack, the biological attack is physical. We're talking about deleting black men. We are talking about harming, hurting, maiming, beating black men. This is what we're talking about. Thank you, DDEC. Say, hey, sis, why are women so childlike these days? Shaking my head. Thank you so much. In a climate where a black man reported that he was being followed by a bunch of zaddies and he ends up decapitated, and they talking about no foul play. Are you kidding me? So we're talking about the biological attacks on black men. We are talking about the cultural attack on black men, effeminizing him through the culture, demonizing his masculinity. Because if you really want to get a backwards thinking hyena feminist to look at that tape, they'll be able to spin it in their stupid minds about where he did touch her. And then she did step back, so you never know what he said. As if touching somebody in an incidental way and them kind of moving around as you move around in a conversation is somehow abnormal, or worse yet, criminal. Everything is a crime against a hyena. Breathing on her is a crime. Told y'all want Sharia law. Thank you, Exodia. Said Dwayne Wade and his husband. You spoke the truth with that. Yeah, Gabrielle is good. Yeah, Gabrielle a good husband too. We're talking about the demonizing of black masculinity. We're talking about minimizing his importance in all aspects of life. I don't need no man. See, that's culturally damaging to black men as well. That's a cultural attack. That's an attack through the culture on black men. Don't nobody need y'all. Don't nobody need black men. Thank you, Stardust. So they look at what they did to Jonathan Majors on Ebony Magazine and those photos of him and MBJ with those photos. Black men can't win for losing. Exactly. You got to spin that. Because I've seen black men, one arm around one another, talking, laughing, giggling, pat the chest, every time. Let's talk about that for a minute. You know what? That might be another video. Because while we can't look at black men loving one another or being friendly towards one another without that being suspect. But if one of them was holding a gun to the other one, or one of them was being aggressive to the other one, we able to accept that. Black men are not interacting properly with one another if one of them is not threatened by the other one. That's what we really saying. We only accept black men harming one another or threatening to do so. And somehow that's supposed to be considered masculine. But if we see black men having a friendly interaction, or we see them having a loving interaction, or one black man say he love his brother, maybe they've been friends since high school and they grown old now. And he said, "No, I love that man over there, man. That's my brother. I love him. He love him." Shut up. White boys get to do that all the time, and don't nobody say nothing. They be all hugged up with one another kissing, and don't nobody say nothing about him being suspect. Oh, that's his friend. But a black man can't barely touch another black man in a non-threatening or friendly way, and everybody got to look at him like he doing something wrong. You can't grab him or hug him or, or nothing. It's a man way to hug. Men figure out their own way to show affection to one another without having somebody else there. He's sassy. And that's just that stupid stuff in our culture. This is why I'm talking about culturally destroying black men, culturally, undervaluing them and devaluing them and dehumanizing them. He can't even be human with another black man. Way these other men and other cultures lick and lap all on each other. You got other cultures, men go into the bathhouse together, strip down and sit in the tub together. You understand? And that do not impugn their masculinity at all. At all. Because it's part of their culture. That's what they do. It's not seen as sus or it's not seen as none of that. It's just a place where men go to hang out and talk. How many scenes in how many movies have we seen a bunch of white men or a bunch of Italian men be sitting in a steam spa, in a sauna together with their little towel wrapped around them and they talking business? There ain't nobody say they was sus. Everybody say, oh, they tough guys, wise guys. Let a group of black men sit there and then we talk, they sus. Environmental attacks on black men. The incarceration of black men. The locking out or the creating of barriers and obstacles for black men getting in certain work industries and things of that nature, making it difficult for him to enter into certain industries to make a certain amount of money. The use of the legal system against him, whether that be crimes like they trying to use the environment against Michael right now. And the reason why they're able to even spin a narrative like that with Michael Irvin is because he's biologically under attack. His masculinity is a problem. Culturally, his masculinity has already been demonized because he presents as a heterosexual black man with masculinity, that has been demonized. So because the first two conditions exist is why the third condition of being able to even approach him with an accusation or allegation of this nature, this is why it has even gone on past a conversation in the back of a Marriott. Because black men who are heterosexual or whatever are always demons and they are always predatory. Let everybody else tell it. Thank you, Professor Carl said black men have to be perfect to satisfy everyone's expectation, yet still never good enough to satisfy anyone's expectation. Exactly. And it just follows the trend in America on black men. He's guilty and never proven innocent, whether he innocent or not. Man ain't did nothing. If there had never been any video, they'd be in court right now suing the pants off of him. And he would never be able to work as a sports commentator again. Not on no major sports network, you couldn't. NFL would disavow all knowledge. He wouldn't be, all kind of stuff. His friends would have to, publicly not be associated and all of that type of stuff. And then nobody wants to acknowledge that the entire system that has been implemented in this country, the lost value system, which is really a representation of white supremacy, has always been geared against the existence of black men in all three phases: biologically, culturally, and environmentally, to either wipe him completely off the map or to render him so completely inept and completely harmless that he's ineffective at every level. To make him ineffective at every level. This is why this attack is happening with Michael Irvin. Because he has the audacity to still be presenting himself as a heterosexual, masculine black man. In 2023, he got the audacity to be presenting himself like that. Now, let's say it happened that no footage, her word against his, believe all women, and all of this foolishness. He get canned permanently from his job and all kinds of stuff like that. Maybe he gets fined heavily. Maybe he even do a little jail time. Then she'll come out later on talking about, yeah, I didn't tell the truth. And no matter what, he'll never be exonerated. Thank you, Charles Keys. A black woman tried that against R. Lewis and lost. She had to pay him. And then you wonder why men are saying they can't do it anymore. They have to go other places, or they're just not going to approach you anymore. Because look, it was just a regular conversation, and look what happened. A regular old conversation out in the public view, and look what happened. Thank you again, Stardust. Remember Brian Banks, this happened to him also. Yeah, he served time and everything. I mean, he didn't do that. We know that. Thank you, Actual Movement. Said, way to kick that real sis. Anton Daniels need more of our support. KS 2.0 RIP. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely 100% rock with and support Anton and what he's got going on. It's actually rather powerful. The threat is too high, especially for black men. They can't mess around with y'all for no reason. That's why they're talking about, you know what, let's just get out of here and go to another place. Take my chances over there. Whatever issues they got over there, I'll deal with them issues, because I already know what's going on over here. Anyway, I just wanted to talk to everyone about that. Hey, before we sign out, do y'all like these earrings? Do y'all like these earrings? I know y'all like these earrings. If you wanna, my sister makes these earrings. She makes them. She hand paints them. I watch her. She sits there and she actually hand paints every single pair of these earrings. And she's got some really, really gorgeous ones that she hand paints. If you wanna check her out, she has an Etsy store. I just put the link in the chat. So ladies, go ahead and get you some earrings. Fellas, you can get you some earrings for your girl or whatever. These are super lightweight. I know they seem a little bit, you know, this is about how big they are. They're super lightweight. I promise you, you forget that they're there. They're not get in the way. Guys, I know women are real concerned about that, whether or not the earrings are heavy. They are not. They're super, super light. Perfect. They're perfect for really any kind. She's got other ones, all kinds of different colors, and most of them are one of a kind. So once you buy that one, it's gone. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and start wrapping this up. I want to first thank everyone for their contributions. Very much appreciated. Everyone contributing and things of that nature. Very, very much appreciated all of your support, because your support actually makes the channel go. Without the support, I really can't do the channel. So I really, really thank you so much for all of your support through Super Chat and everything. I want to see if we have any Cash App. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. Cole, thank you for your contribution to Cash App. Uton, thank you for your contribution as well. Aubrey, thank you so much for your contribution. Datorian, thank you. Really, really appreciate. And Noya, thank you as well. And Expansion, thank you as well. Thank you all so very, very much for all of your support. Don't forget to go into the description box and click the link so that you can purchase my new book, Reclaiming the Black Feminine, Lies of Feminism and Road to Recovery. There are solutions in this book. This book is going to change people's lives for the better. So definitely you want to get your hands on it. If you want a digital copy, you prefer to read them on your devices, then go ahead and click the link in the description for the Amazon link as well. Also, hey, listen, I'm happy to have given you all this show. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.
Hello, my Crimsonites and all of my supporters. I invite you to go and get your copy of my new book, Reclaiming the Black Feminine, The Lives of Feminism and the Road to Recovery, on sale now at crimsoncure.com. This is guaranteed to change your perspective and positively impact your life. So go ahead now to crimsoncure.com and get your copy today.